As with other things, narcissists behave weirdly in conversations, therefore giving us a chance to spot them quite early on through this behavior. They treat you in ways that make you feel insignificant or like you don't know anything or you're a fool. So that's what we are going to talk about today. In this episode, we will explore and learn 5 signs to spot a narcissist in a conversation. If that sounds interesting, please make sure to subscribe before we begin, because your subscription to this channel may help in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. I am Danish, your host, a psychologist and a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Welcome to this community. Sign number 1, they keep interrupting you, and it happens again and again during a conversation. Here is a small disclaimer before I go on explaining this point further. People with ADHD and dyslexia may also display this kind of a behavior, which does not make them a narcissist. They do it because they are hyperactive. It's like there are multiple tabs open at once and they are running in 100 different directions all at one time. So they can't hold it all together. It's how they are wired. The intention is not to abuse you or to humiliate you. So when assessing a person, I would like you to look at the bigger picture and the entire picture, not just one specific part of it. A narcissist will keep interrupting you during a conversation because they like to talk at you, not talk to you. They cannot let you have the control. They have to be the one talking all the time, especially when what you are talking about is not about them or their greatness or their victimhood if it is a covert narcissist. So they will interrupt quite disrespectfully and start talking and will go on and on and on without giving you a chance to form some kind of coherent speech. They'll mess up your thoughts, leave you confused, thinking, maybe I do not know much about this topic and I need to learn from them, or that I'm a fool, or what was that? They leave you with a bad experience. A narcissist can only listen when what you are sharing is about their greatness or their victimhood, for that matter, if it is a covert narcissist. They will interrupt again and again and bring all the focus and attention to themselves because they can't stand listening to you. They're really bad listeners, but as I said, they can listen, they can pretend to listen if it serves them. They have zero communication skills, but make it seem like, oh, they're the best communicator you have ever known. Well, that's their grandiosity speaking. Number 2, they react badly to praise. When you're praising them, oh, it's good, it's all fine. But when you're praising somebody else, somebody they do not know, have no relationship with, they become aggressive. They take it as a personal narcissistic injury and they divert the topic and make it about themselves to give you a bigger story. If you, for example, talk about somebody who recently got some form of promotion at work and is now earning well, the narcissist will come up with an entirely false story of their own. Well, you know, I was working in that company and I got this much money and in this much time, you know, so it's not that big of a deal. If that doesn't work, or if they don't want to take that path, they will devalue whatever you are praising. They will say, oh, that company, that has such a bad reputation. Anybody can get a job there. It's so easy to get in. It's not a big deal. Come on, get over it. That is how they react to praise. You cannot talk about your achievements either, because their achievements have to be bigger than yours, or they have to feel better than you. So they will instantly devalue your success. This happens a lot in parent-child dynamic, where the parent is a narcissist. The child comes running to their parent, jumping in joy because they have done a lot well in their academics compared to how they did last time. They expect to get some approval, some validation and positive attention of their parent. What do they get instead? they get dismissal. The parent doesn't even take a look at the report card and completely devalues it and says, oh, that's nothing. It doesn't even matter. How do I know this? Well, that is my damn life story. That's exactly what I've been through all my life. Nothing is enough for such a parent. To learn how to deal with such a parent, how to heal from the trauma they leave you with, and to become narcissist proof for real so that you stop attracting narcissists because of your childhood trauma, attend my workshop. I'm doing an intensive workshop on May 11th, coming Saturday, and the topic will be how to heal after surviving your narcissistic parent. If you want to join and you want to know how I did it, click the link in the description of this episode or the I button above to secure your spot right now. Number 3, you can never have a dialogue with a narcissist. You always end up witnessing or becoming a part of their self-centered monologue. That's a really big sign. They love to talk about their achievements. They love to praise themselves, how they humiliated a person, how they won this person, how they did this, how they did that in their childhood, their adulthood. They'll go on and on and on. There is no pause to know how you're feeling about that monologue. Do you want to hear all that crap? Are you okay? Do you want to say something? No. You're just there sitting like a mirror, and they get to talk. They're talking at you, as I said. They don't talk to you. You get bored, eventually tired, exhausted, because they talk until they can. Mind you, this can be a sign of ADHD as well. Do your research and always consider the bigger picture, everything else, before you consider this one aspect. Some people like to be talkative, but they're not essentially disrespectful. If you interrupt them, they'll not rage at you. They'll not try to burn you to ground because you disrespected them. No, they don't see it that way. They'll apologize and say, oh, I didn't mean to, I just lost track. I went on rambling, my apologies. No. That's not how a narcissist behaves. If you stop them in the middle of something they're saying and quite politely and say, I think you need to take a pause here and I think we need to talk about something else now. No, that is going to end the conversation. They will leave you if they can, or completely cut you off, or they will humiliate you for humiliating them. Sign number 4, they have a know-it-all attitude in conversations. You may want to share something with your narcissistic partner or parent, something that you did, you achieved, something that was uniquely yours, something you created, something that's your story. And all of a sudden you will notice the narcissist giving you unsolicited advice, telling you how to do things better, or correcting you, criticizing you, shaming you, comparing you. For what? To make themselves feel better, because they want to know they know it all. So they have to give you suggestions that supposedly you do not know about already. They have to be the corrector who shows you the right path, because that's who they are in their head. The one who knows how to do things correctly. Let me give you an example. If by any chance anybody would share anything with my covertly narcissistic mother about, let's say, a recipe, how they cooked something and it came out really well, my mother, instead of appreciating them or asking how did you cook it and what it was and so on, she would instantly, without knowing anything about the ingredients and whatsoever, give them advice and say something like, next time, let me teach you how to cook it. Let me cook it for you. And it's going to turn out so good, like better than what you cooked, without having tasted how that thing was. That's so disrespectful. Sign number 5 and the last one, lack of focus. They do not focus when it's not about them. Again, a small disclaimer, you may get to see lack of focus in folks who have ADHD. As I said, hundreds of tabs are open, hyperactive minds, so they can't hold on to one piece of the conversation. They'll be derailed easily. But with the narcissist, it's not about hyperactivity. It's about getting bored. They need your attention. They need you to listen to them. When you're strangulating them. It's their oxygen. You need to understand it. So when you are talking, let's say, they'll ask you a question and won't have the patience to listen to your answer. They'll go on and keep talking and talking. But then when you talk, they will look at somebody else. They'll start scrolling their phone. They'll look over your shoulder at something else. They will all of a sudden start yawning, clearly showing you they're not interested in your BS. That's what they think. Or they'll start scratching their body. I mean, they'll make you uncomfortable. They'll make you think you are making no sense whatsoever. You're such a boring person. You do not know what you're talking about, and you must stop immediately when that is not the case. They do not respect your emotions, your individuality, your uniqueness or personality. They only respect it if it is about them. If you can't make it about them, then you better shut up. That's how it works. It's quite black and white for a narcissist. That was number 5. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Do not forget to reserve your spot right now in my upcoming webinar. I'll see you there, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.